Ben Drew, Plan B, welcome to Five Live.
Thank you for having me.
Well, welcome to the Antarctic. That's what it feels like at the
It
moment.
feels like that. That's why I'm warming myself up with a cigarette. I don't know how to talk about things like that.
Well, it's because you've made me come outside to interview you because you want to smoke.
That's right.
And here we are, very cold. Now, I've done some research, i.e. I've looked at Wikipedia, and there is a quote out there on Planet Web at the moment that proclaims you as the biggest selling British artist of 2010. In Britain. Did you know that?
Not anymore.
Not anymore? Who's overtaken you?
Take That sold 500,000 copies on their first week.
So they just swanned in 7 days later. They've overtaken a whole year of hard work from you, Ben.
They did, but they've got a big old fan base. You know what I mean?
You've got a couple of days to make up for this.
I guess so, man. I mean, it depends. It depends if the record is in the top 20 by Christmas. I think if the record's in the top 20 by Christmas, then you sell close to 100,000 copies a week, some madness like that. To be honest, mate, I'm happy that, like, for the success, I don't need it to be any more successful than it is. You know, I'm content with the way things are, man. But it's always nice, you know.
It is nice, and the album's nice. It's one I've not stopped listening to all year.
Thank you very much.
Mostly because I'm lonely and I have no friends.
Okay.
But it's been there for me. You've been a soundtrack to my misery.
I've kind of been lonely. I've been on tour, you know, a lot. So I feel your pain, man.
We've got each other now, though, Ben.
There you go, for the next 5 minutes anyway.
Just 5 minutes, that's all you'll
Keep
give
each other warm with
John Bon Jovi
some
said
cosy laughter and
enough for love.
Chat, you know.
Whilst it's my soundtrack for my misery, you've described it as a film for the blind. What did you mean by that, Ben?
Well, it's a film without visuals, so it's... If you listen to it from start to finish, it kind of tells a story, and the words help you imagine the pictures, you know. And
there is a narrative running within the album as well.
Yeah, it's a story about a fictional soul singer called Strickland Banks, who's very successful, and the success has gone to his head, and he's made a lot of enemies, and he meets a groupie and spends the night with her. And rejects her in the morning because he feels guilty about his girlfriend who he's cheated on. Yeah. And this group, he can't handle the rejection, and she goes to the police and accuses him of a crime he hasn't committed, and he gets made an example of by the system, and he gets sent to prison, an innocent kind of high-profile celebrity, and in prison it's hell for him, you know, trying to kind of survive, and he goes on this road to redemption. You know, for the first time he's being treated how he used to treat people in the outside world, you know, so he starts getting more in touch with his humanity, and yeah, you know, I like to talk about injustice, man, you know, and it's a soul record, and you know, if I'm not talking about some kind of struggle, then it would have just been a collection of love songs, which kind of would have bored me.
And me, in my moments of misery.
There you go.
So could you ever do a George Lucas and go back and make a prequel?
Well, we kind of are going to do that with the movie. We're trying to make a movie where all the music videos connect together with interlinking scenes, so we'll have to tell some of the backstory with that. And there's also the Ballad of Belmarsh, the hip-hop record, which kind of goes into kind of greater detail of the Strickland Banks kind of character and the story and the people he meets, and specifically what the crime is. Yeah, I mean...
The X-rated version.
Yeah, it is the X-rated version, definitely, man. It's you know... I wrote it at the same time I'd done the soul record, we just never put it out. So 2011, that should hopefully be coming out.
I know this isn't the most important kind of thing for you, awards and accolades and that, but #1 album, top 10 singles, awards, playing with Elton John, being bigged up by Big Paul McCartney. Which moment has meant the most to you this year?
Jonathan Ross was a big moment for me, and I think it changed everything and turned me into a household name.
That was the beginning of your rise.
Yeah, that was a special moment, but you know, being on stage with Elton John, massive highlight, and I think you kind of forget when you meet the man, he's just a human being like everybody else, and he's very down to earth and very nice guy, you know, so you kind of forget like how big a thing it actually is to be on a stage with him. But that's definitely a highlight, or the highlight of the year.
Elton John?
Yeah, man. Yeah, for real.
That's Elton John. Enough said.
There you go.
You're off the hook. You don't need to explain yourself. And also, Nicole from the Pussycat Dolls has sung your praises as well, saying she wants to work with you purely down to the music. Now, she said, I don't know his face, his videos or anything, but I love his music. Now, have you met her? And if so, how did she react to the face? I
read that. That would make sense, because when I met her, you know, it was pretty much like meeting any kind of new kind of person. It was, you know, you don't know each other, do you? So it takes a bit of time to kind of warm to each other and that. But we had a talk about what she wanted to do, kind of musically, and if I could help her with that. You know.
And was she okay with the face? It didn't put her off?
I think she was okay with the face, man.
It's a lovely face.
Yeah,
Ben.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Now, you've changed a lot personally, haven't you? maybe not this year, but with this album, because I read that you, like earlier gigs of your earlier albums, that you used to be quite an angry man, even fighting your own fans, I think verbally rather than physically after gigs.
No, I still do that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I still do that.
I mean, verbally or physically?
No, man, look.
So I was hoping you'd change, and now you offered fans post-gig
No,
cuddles.
I have a longer fuse now, but you know, I don't take no, can't say the word on radio, but I don't take that. And
no rubbish.
I don't take no rubbish or no garbage from people. And as long as you show me respect, I'll show you respect, and that's the way of it. You know, if you come to a gig and you're drunk and you're throwing beer and you're shouting at me and telling me or demanding that I sing the old songs from the first album when I'm trying to do a set, then you know what kind of reaction you're going to get from me. But that's it, that's all, you know. But I mean, look, when I done my first record, I was no one, and I felt that I was part of that class of society that the more well-off side of society didn't really care about and would rather put on the Isle of Wight and Nuclear Bomb, yeah? And I spoke for those forgotten youth, those forgotten kids of society, and I still do, because although I don't agree with the way these kids go on in the street, stabbing each other and robbing each other, I understand why they're like that. You know, I understand that the environment they was brought up in was an environment with a minimum of kind of love and encouragement, and these kids are told they're a piece of dirt from a young age, and so when they grow up they act like that, you know, and all they need is that encouragement and that love, you know, and I was lucky that I could find that from certain places, you know, with my troubled childhood, and I managed to get here, and that's what that first record was about. It was trying to teach those kids through the vehicle of hip-hop, which is the only thing they kind of listen to, because they don't listen to authority figures like police or teachers, they listen to rappers. It was about using that channel and using the language, which is, you know, swearing and explicit kind of language, to kind of first get them interested in the music, but then flipping it on them consciously, because all my songs always had a message and never kind of glamorized, you know, violence. It was always showing violence for what it was, the true kind of, you know, depressive, dark side of violence, which wasn't something I think most kids, if they knew the truth about, would want to get into, and that was the whole point of that. And I think, you know, after the first album, getting that out, that was my therapy. And when it came to this record, I just wanted a break from it, you know, and every year I get older, or any human being gets older, they change, they mature and they grow, and this record is just me maturing as a person, as an artist, you know. And when I go back to my hip hop would have benefited from that, you know.
Because you will go back, because that's what you represent in your roots.
Well, no, I'm going to do Ballad of Belmarsh, which is, you know, I love hip hop, but hip hop needs to be done a certain way, you know. There's no point cross-mixing too many genres, you know. Just make a hip-hop record or make a soul record, you know. Obviously my soul record had elements of hip-hop in it, but I think it's very important, you know, for something to kind of stand alone as what it is, and that's why, you know, I'm promoting a soul record now, but when this is done I do the Ballad of Belmarsh, which will be hip-hop. You know, there's a time and a place for everything, and next year will be the hip-hop.
Some things must have changed though. Obviously you've had all this success. Has it changed anything in your lifestyle, little luxuries? Have you even had a day off this year to enjoy luxuries?
I haven't, no. I haven't had time for any of that. It's even hard to kind of get fitted for new suits, you know. I'm kind of...
And you like your suits, don't you?
I do like my suits, and I've been rocking the kind of mash-up old suits I've had all year. So, you know, no, I haven't had time to enjoy the benefits of success, but I've got the rest of my life for that. So it's time for hard work now.
Has the cat been well fed? I know you've got a cat, Ben.
Yeah, I've got someone looking after Delroy. The dragon's a bit depressed because no one's playing with him. I've got a bearded dragon called Razor. Obviously, some sacrifices have to be made for this lifestyle, you know.